This is INCRadio, DCEM 954, the voice of truth, the official radio station of the Church of Christ or Iglesia ni Cristo.
Welcome to INCRadio, Western Europe Routes and Roots, where journeys unfold, history is told. We are broadcasting live here, of course, from Western Europe, and I am one of your hosts for today. I am Sister Kate Revivis from the Group Worship Service of Hestoptenberg, Belgium, District of Western Europe, of course. And I am not alone. I am here with my beautiful co-host, one of my beautiful co-hosts, of course, Ate April.
Thank you so much, Ate Kate. Hello po everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everyone watching and listening. I am Sister Victoria Elenita Lopez from the local of Antwerp, Belgium, and I'll be one of your beautiful hosts for today. Ayan tuloy, Ate Kate. I was so happy with what you said. So yes.
Ayan, okay. So happy Sunday to everyone, of course. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you may be tuning in. And yes, we'll talk about the weather later. I cannot say just yet, but I do tell you where we can be watch or stream live on YouTube, on our YouTube channel. Just search for INCRadio DZM 954 and click live now. And you can also follow us on our Instagram on INC News and Updates and INC Radio Official, and on Twitter INC News _updates and INC Radio Official to always stay updated on the latest church news, activities, and INC Radio programs. Yes, time check. It is currently 4:03 p.m. Central European Time, and in the Philippines, of course, it's 11:03 p.m. Philippine time. So for those who are about to go to sleep, please pagpuyatan niyo po ang broadcast namin. Don't go to sleep yet. And for those who are about to have their dinner, yan, bon appetit po. Okay, so weather check muna tayo. It is currently, let me check what the weather is, because I can tell you it's not very sunny right now. So where I am right now, and I think everywhere in Belgium, it is currently 12 degrees Celsius, and it is raining, pouring. In Geneva naman, it is currently 15 degrees Celsius, and it is cloudy. No rain, but cloudy. In Paris, it is 13 degrees Celsius, and there is a warning of flood, so I'm guessing it is going to pour very, very, very hard later on. So just be aware po, mga kapatid. And last but not least, of course, Monaco, 14 degrees, and it is cloudy with the sun shining through. So, of course, they have better weather there down south than we do here up north. But that's okay, because, you know, as long as you're tuning in here on INCRadio, di ba, at April, it will be happy, sunshiny. Ano ba? Okay, so before we continue, I just want to ask our audience, where are you tuning in from today? And are you currently working, studying, or are you in transition? Have you just graduated? Because the topic for today is redefining hard work. Okay, so to explain a little bit better of our episode, let us watch our Setting the Scene segment natin for today. So let us watch this.
For many of us, hard work was once simple to define. It meant long hours, pushing through fatigue, doing more, no matter the cost. But as life moves forward, that definition begins to shift. Experience teaches us that effort isn't just about endurance, it's about intention, knowing when to push and when to pause. Hard work starts to look less like constant motion and more like consistency, focus, and care for what we're building. Today, we're taking a step back to ask a simple question. What does hard work really mean now? Because sometimes redefining hard work is part of learning how to move forward without losing ourselves along the way.
Ayan po, welcome back po. And now that we have set the scene po, we will be discussing po obviously our topic for today. But before we get into that, let me quickly read some YouTube comments po and feel free to join our conversation po. And let us know your thoughts po, your feelings, di ba po? So here we have from Ka Gerald Barcebal. Hello po mga kapatid, happy viewing po sa ating lahat. We have from Julie Alcoriza. Happy Sunday po mga kapatid from Basti. We have Roberto Garcia giving his greetings from Versailles. We have from Mildred Salangsang. Hello po mga kapatid. Happy viewing po from Versailles. We have here from Irene Domingo. Happy viewing po mga kapatid from Versailles. From Ka Hirsch, happy viewing from local of Torhout. We have from Ka Jordan Saraza, happy Sunday po mga kapatid from the local of Bastille, France. From Ka Tess de la Cruz, happy Sunday po mga kapatid from the local of Versailles. Let me scroll a little more po. We have from Ka Christian Justin Reyes, greetings brethren from Versailles. And then from Ka Arlene Raymakers, hello po brethren, greetings from the group worship service of Torhout, and many, many more that we will be reading po throughout our broadcast po, so keep on commenting. So now at the gate, I'm excited to actually talk about our topic. So let me ask you, how did you define hard work when you were younger, Ate?
I think for me, it was like very shallow definition because we were younger. So what did we know
True.
when we were younger? For me, I think hard work was just getting things done. Basically, like, I finished my homework, for example.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
for me, the hard work didn't come with like, the results of like, was it good? Or was the quality good of my work? That was not hard work for me. For me, it was as much as I can get done. That's, I think, what hard work meant to me when I was younger. How about you, Ate?
Oh, I think I'm the opposite, if I would say. Kasi for me, I only worked hard or defined it as hard work for myself. If the results were good, if they were, if yeah, yun nga, if the results were good, ate, and doesn't matter how much work I put into it, if it's the results were bad, then I would say, oh, I didn't work hard enough, or yeah, I wasn't enough. Wow, deep, deep. Yes, ate. So that's actually interesting that we had like
Mhm.
different perspectives on that. Obviously,
Yeah.
it's not like this anymore. So yes, and also to our live chat po, let us know po, how did you define hard work when you were younger? Doesn't have to be when you were in elementary, but could also be in high school. But it definitely changed for me. Ate, what about you?
Yeah, it definitely changed for me because when I was younger, quantity was more important for me, like to get as much things done as I can. That was like hard work for me. But growing up, it's usually the projects that take the longest
Yeah.
that define what hard work was.
Mhm.
And I think it started changing for me when towards the end of high school, where university and college was around the corner. So of course the way of studying was different now.
Mhm.
But yeah, for me at that point, there was a big project in high school, share ko lang, um, that took like almost a whole semester for us to present.
Yeah.
And the hard work that we did, even though it was a long thing, a longer process time,
Mhm.
that was like for me, oh yeah, I really did work hard because I was able to get this type of result. So that's when for me, working longer on something can define hard work, talaga, more like the quality of it, and you will see the quality of the results, more than getting as much done as as you can. How about you, Ate? Did that change? How did you said it changed? So how did it change for you?
I think not recently, but yun nga, the transition from high school to college and also like my um, latest college years. Because before I would, like I said, ate, like only when it was good, then I was happy with what I did. I would say, okay, I worked hard, but
Mhm.
obviously now we have like bigger projects, like you said, and it takes up like a whole semester or like a year even. Um,
Yeah.
and I think my definition of hard work changed. It's more like yung being persistent, consistent, and yes, kasi sometimes you don't really get the results you want immediately. So,
Mm,
and you'll have to tell yourself, like, okay, I did my best. I worked hard and I just have to change my way of doing it. Like, so yun, I had to learn that talaga ate. So, I would say the same kasi it's normal. I think you transition from high school to college, it's different, very
yeah.
different. Yeah. So, for you, Ate, I know you work hard. Like I know you personally as well, and you really work hard. So, is being busy always a sign of being productive to you?
No,
No.
no. I think I think sometimes the misconception of saying that you're busy means that you're being productive somewhere else, or I know, I think busy is always like, oh, I don't want to make, sometimes it's an excuse of I don't want to make time for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no, for me, being busy doesn't always mean, oh, you're being productive. A lot of people, use the word busy so lightly. I think, and sometimes being busy is also, you're not really technically busy, but you're, busy with, I don't know, self care, or
Mm-hmm.
having a downtime, and I don't know if having downtime would always result to being productive, kasi nga your downtime yun, 'di ba?
Yeah.
So it's not always being productive. I think for me, getting a lot of, like, getting things or accomplishing a lot of things is what defines being productive for me lang.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what about you?
I agree with the like yung saying you're busy. And I understand na people are busy and also with other things, but I think it's more like yung priority nila. It's on that.
Yeah.
So yes, for example, things that matter to me the most, let's say pagtupad, of course, because
Mm,
being members of church and also like officers, I think I will always make time because that's what really matters to me. So
yeah.
yun nga, being busy can be used as an excuse, but doesn't mean like you're not working yun nga, on other aspects. For
Mhm.
me, being productive, signs of me being productive, not answering messages. Yeah, you know that ate. Yeah, kasi yun nga, my focus shifts and then I forget like, oh, people messaged me or asked me to do so. So I think that's one of like the signs that you can see na I'm working hard and ano, being productive. So with you ate, I think you're really in a flow when you're being productive. I feel like that's what I see from an outside perspective.
I think being productive takes a lot of consistency,
Yeah.
and it's not easy, especially when you have different things to do. Us, we are officers in the church, so we have a lot of other things to do, and aside from that, we have our work, we have our studies. Syempre, that's for everyone a common thing. Um, but I think, like I said, if it's about time management din talaga. You
Yeah.
have to be very you have to be, you have to have that discipline to be able to be productive, that by the end of the day, any project can come up, and you can say, no, oh, I've worked on this. Maybe it's not done yet, but I've worked on it, so that
Mm-hmm.
means I am progressing. So yeah, but especially during the day, we know we are all busy because we have other obligations and responsibilities. But Sister April and I know each other from more personal, I know. So our productiveness, we know the flow of each other's work, I think.
And I think also like knowing that ate, it helps us to really work together well.
Yeah.
And I think like one of the biggest things for me personally is like communication. Like,
Oh yeah.
wow, communication is key now. Uh, no, but like I feel like I really can tell you when things get overwhelming, and then we take over
Yeah.
each other, things like that. So I think that's also like a very important thing aside from time management. So
Hmm. Yeah, I think definitely communicating if you can't fit it in your schedule to do it, like communicating just like, oh, I'll get back to this, or I'll do this like this time, helps a lot, because I think the communication will help the other person be productive with their own time instead of waiting for your response, 'di ba? So tama ba? Ate?
agree ako dyan, ate. So yes, and I think that's also not only when it comes to performing our duties, but it's like the same like at work. It's applicable as well as at work, like in time management and communicating. And something I've actually noticed, ate, wow, first time talking about this. So I started an internship lately. I think 2 weeks ago, and like things that I learned in performing my duty, like we just discussed, I'm also being able to use it at work, and vice versa. So that's really nice, and I'm really grateful for that, talaga, ate. And I think you have the same naman, no?
Yeah, I think like I think I learn a lot with just having so much to do, that you really give importance to your time, and making sure that you're able to spread your work um correctly and more realistically. Kasi sometimes when you write it down and be like, oh, I can do it all on one day, pero realistically hindi pala. So
No.
yeah. Yeah.
Well, yeah, no, I agree at this. So I think we're on the same page when it comes to that, because we also have to work together a lot. And it's also about, sometimes adjusting to the people that you work with. Wow, we're drifting from redefining hard work, but it's part of it, talaga.
Yes.
I don't think you will be able to work hard or work efficiently if you don't, if you also don't take time to learn these skills like communicating and time management. So yes,
Yeah.
but please let us know.
Actually, we have one comment from Kanori. He said, being productive is intentional in focusing on high impact, meaningful tasks to achieve a specific goal. It is different from simply being busy. I agree. That's what exactly we said. It is different from being busy, because sometimes busy is not always being productive, but definitely achieving a goal is how you can see signs of productivity. And if you have also other comments, please share your thoughts about our topic for today.
Yes, I agree, ate. And I think, yun nga, we've been talking about what our view is on hard work and how it evolved. But yun nga, please let us know po what you think about it, because we are also curious po if you have other points of views. But I think we also like interviewed some people, di ba, ate? We, like our team, interviewed some people, some brethren po. And yes, we went out and asked them like a couple questions about this topic. So we are going to introduce their voices po in our next segment on the ground. So please stay tuned.
Si kapatid na Armando Grabador, nakatala po sa lokal ng Paris, distrito ng Western Europe. Ang pagsisikap ay malalim na katanungan sa pamumuhay, sa pag-aaral, sa pagtatrabaho. Yan ang aking sariling pakahulugan sa pagsisikap.
For me, hard work is a question of being consistent.
You don't need to work twice as hard to get better results. You just need to work efficiently.
Example po, kung kayo ay mas mabuting manggagawa, ito ay nagtutulong.
For me, working harder definitely leads to better results. we can see from focus on your worship service, and when you pray a lot, God is here for you and answers your prayers.
What's one thing you've learned about effort through experience? I have learned that
Okay, so I think we're having a little bit of technical difficulty. But yes, we'll try later on maybe to see what our on the ground voices are. So of course, at the end now I cannot ask you their questions, but of course we asked them the same thing of like what is what is hard work to them, and they were sharing their thoughts as well to the same questions that we've been talking about. And one of them, let's just take out one of the things that is working efficiently.
Ooh.
Yes, that's hard work. What can you say about that, Ate?
I feel like when you work efficiently, like maybe people won't see it as hard work. That could be a possible thing because people think like you're making it easy for yourself. But on the other hand, if you're making it easy for yourself, and for example, at me, sa internship, like I get to use different tools, right? Um, I can get more things done because um, how do you say it in English? You I don't spend as much time on other things, so I can focus more on like what really does matter. So I think working efficiently that is part of working hard, but I feel like I'm not let's say people don't always agree with that. So what do you
Mm.
think?
Well, there is a saying na, 'di ba, like work smarter, not harder. Kasi, some people say that it's more efficient in a sense now you're more efficient with your time, with your effort, 'di ba, your abilities. And some cases I do agree with that. And just because you worked more like smarter in a sense now you did the shortcut or easier way doesn't mean that it's any less working hard, kasi as long as your results are good, I think that's what's important then is having your results be good or something that is satisfactory for you and for, I don't know, your managers or teachers, diba?
Yeah.
I think that's important talaga, and showing your work also makes a difference too. Whether it's shortcut nga, diba, shorter way of working or not. I think there's always a misconception in that, but
Mhm.
I do agree with that. Sometimes, sometimes you're thinking, oh, I could have just worked smarter and not, I wouldn't have to spend this much time or ano.
Yeah.
So for sure, sa school, ate, you're also like that, diba? Like you have to work smarter
No,
sometimes.
actually, like I feel like the school they really force you not to use like let's say AI or
Oh
like
yeah,
yes, like you'll have to do it the long or hard way. Um,
right.
but what I've learned is it's not always like that in reality, like in
Oh.
when you're working. So that shook me talaga. I don't know why they're making it hard for us.
I think it's, yeah, especially now that we are moving to a more AI world, diba, na, our
Mhm.
digital world is, there's so many tools now to make things, to help you work easier or faster sometimes too. And yeah, in school, I think we still do old school talaga where you have to show your work, you have to show na
Yeah.
it all comes from your brain. And not any other tools, which is not that bad. It really does
Mhm.
help a lot of students, to put it into practice after, for example, when they're working na, not everything is going to be used with AI, but realistically, let's be real at April, this world is indeed, the technology does develop and we have to go with it through time.
Mhm.
we have to stay updated with the new with the new technologies that people use, and sometimes it requires sa job mo, 'di ba? But you have to be very careful because, like we always say nga, just because it's trendy doesn't mean that we should always do it. So sometimes doing it yourself is a more satisfactory. But actually, Ate, we'll try to talk about that later on. Let's maybe try and see if our segment on the ground is now okay. Ayan, so let's check with our kuyas. Yeah. Okay. Not yet
Okay.
now. Okay.
No.
That's okay.
That's fine. That's fine. Ate, kasi I remember actually one of the questions sa video, and we have been talking about achieving good results. Do you think working harder directly means or always leads to good results?
You would want to, 'di ba? Kasi your time and effort really, you put it in it. So you would hope for better results. But sometimes it's not,
No.
you know.
No, it's not. And
Realistically.
yeah, and I think you'll have to tell yourself to keep going and to keep
Yeah.
working hard, even though things aren't going the way you want it to be. No?
Yeah. And I think that's what one of our brothers said in the video talaga kanina, that working harder doesn't mean it's always a better result. I think working efficiently is more important. Kasi nga, like we said earlier, there are a lot of things that could be done easily, or less time, 'di ba? So yeah, it's harder if you find ways na I could have just done it this way, it would have been easier. But that's the reality of it talaga. Yeah. Ayan, okay. So ate, let me ask one last thing. What's one thing you've learned about effort through experience?
I feel like um actually with all of my experiences at the more effort I put into it, and it doesn't matter if I use the easy way out, it leads to good results. It's also, I think, part of trusting God in it. Yes, ate. Because sometimes, like we just discussed, you don't get immediately what you want in life always. So you just have to, I think, put effort into it and trust the process and leave it up to God, for it to eventually have good results. And I think yung effort din ate, it's a difficult one, because sometimes you'll have to use different tools, or make it easier for yourself. But I also know from the older generation, not everyone obviously, they're saying na we're kind of yung knowledge natin is not as as efficient or good as it was before. So it really depends how you define effort ate. Is it for you putting time into it, or finding ways to make it easier for yourself? But from what I've experienced, effort, as long as you do your part and you make time for it, even though you're busy, and then you leave it up to God, it will all be fine. It will all turn out fine. And I think that's something also you experience ate.
Yeah, 100%. I think your effort, sometimes you kind of have to entrust na lang. You can give, you have to put in effort. That's what I know from my experience. You really do have to put effort in everything, but you have to also let everything else be entrusted to God na lang. Kasi you can only do so much because we're also human beings. We have our limits. But like we said, diba, nothing is impossible naman with God. So I think just knowing that your efforts will not be in vain because He's there with you. helps us, especially members of the Church of Christ, to keep on going with having endurance and all that. So Ate, let's just go on and show what we have for the on the ground. So let's ask Fiat Tech to show it to us. Thank you, Paul. Ayan. Handa.
No, that's fine. That's fine because Ate, I had actually like a question for you because you tackled it kanina. Like, do you think rest can be part of hard work, even though it's like contradictory yung question? Do you think rest is part of hard work?
Yeah, because you always run in the risk of not having good results.
Yeah.
You always, kasi it's always, I mean, everything's a risk. You can always try to put in your effort, but doesn't always get you the same result or the result that you want. So then we're talking about risk. It's always
Mhm.
like, oh, if I put a lot of hard work, will it be worth my time? But again, like we said kanina, diba? Your effort will not be in vain, especially if you entrust everything to God. Because even if you don't get the result that you want, there's always a reason. And I
Yeah.
think that helps so much with your thoughts
Mhm.
and diba? Because it happens talaga that, we are overthinking. And so, syempre, before we even do something, we are already with all the this. I think always just do it. And then if it doesn't give you the result that you want, then there's always a reason why. So yeah. What about you, Ate?
I think, are we able to work hard if we are not like well rested and like healthy? That's the thing at the because for me, before as well, and maybe still now, I'm trying to change for the better. It's like don't go and you know keep pushing myself to my limits, and then I'll get sick or like I'll fall out, and then what? Then you're not able to work hard or like do what you have to do. So I think rest is definitely part of hard work, like being kind to yourself, knowing your boundaries as well, and communicating your boundaries to those like you're working with, those around you. And I think um yun nga, like it's you really have to make time to rest, and to it will really help you out to work efficiently and work well, because I feel like
Mm.
whenever I'm pushing myself, like the quality of my work is, you know not good.
Yeah. Because you don't want to also, go to what they say, what they define as burnout. You need that constant rest. And I think that's also a discipline that you have to instill in yourself when you know where to put your limits then talaga. And sometimes it's better. I've learned this somehow from um, yung mga crossword puzzles that you
Huh?
do online. Yeah. Sometimes here's my ano my theory. Sometimes, I really want to get the word correctly, but because I'm so focused and I don't rest my brain, I cannot get it right. So when I work on it the next day, then I realize, oh, you know, I was just having a block because I was tired. So then it's the same thing for everything else that we do. Sometimes you need that rest so that you can have a better mindset. You're well rested,
Yeah.
and you do need to have that rest. So I think that's what we said also in the previous episodes that we've had, is that never feel guilty about resting, because resting is also hard work. Because a lot of people define resting as you're not working hard, but it is. To be to work harder, or to work more efficiently, like we said ng kapatid kanina, is you need that rest, diba?
Wow. I like that, Atim. Even though for me it's hard to rest, and really rest and not to worry or feel guilty. So I think that's something I need to work on, because it's true. I've experienced that myself. Now you now you have like this like you're too tired to get things done the way they should. So no, that's true, and I think that's something we want to also give sa mga watchers and listeners, that you should take a rest po. It's part of hard work, di ba, ate?
Yes, it is. But okay, so since we've talked a little bit already, let us switch the beat and listen to an INCMV, an Iglesia Ni Cristo music video called With Your Guidance. So stay tuned po.
I'm so amazed by how your church has grown from your true messenger in these last days. Lord God, this truly shows we're not alone. All your church started small, just like me. With your guidance, you have helped us spread your words to all the world. With your guidance, you will help us remain inside the church of Christ. I know I'll face trials in my life, but I keep my faith strong and follow you. So I will gently share my faith, for as I go, your church is growing too. With your guidance, you have helped us spread your words to all the world. With your guidance, you will help us remain inside the church of Christ. With your guidance, you have helped us spread your word to all the world. With your guidance, you will help us remain inside the church of Christ. With your guidance, you will help us to meet your Son when He returns.
INCMV po, as much as we did po. So before we continue with what we have been talking about po, let me quickly pull up the comments. So I saw here from Cafe, we are able to accomplish the same thing or achieve the same goal by using strategies and techniques, prioritization to minimize time and efforts. I think that's the whole point, Paul, like with like the new technology and AI. So that's indeed true. And it is part of hard work, like making use of those things, of course. And then she also says rest is an essential part of hard work because it is the foundation of creativity, productivity, and sustainability. Yes. I think it's also better to, rest enough and really tell yourself like you need it, because that will help you to work hard in the long run, I feel like. So definitely agree with you on that, Mama. So let me read some other comments. We have from Ka Zoe Happy Vingpo from Valtuaz. We have from Ka Gloria Campos, pagbati po sa lahat ng mga kapatid, from Versailles. We have here, from Ka Mario Oka. Good evening here in the Philippines. So, brother, listen to Ate Kate na he will, watch the broadcast first before going to sleep. Enjoy watching here on INC Radio Western Europe Satellite Studio. Greetings from local of Brixtonville, District of Caloocan North. We have from Ka Edelwina Velasco giving her greetings from Versailles. Then we have Ate Ruby saying happy Sunday to everyone po watching from Paris. From Ka Minda Sahulan, happy view po mga kapatid from the local of Antwerp, Belgium. Let me scroll a little more. And then we have from Atemian Glauser, shout out to the Serrano siblings daw from Geneva North. And then a lot of brethren saying something about yung INCMV, like Ate A saying, yay, Ezekiel and Jilt from Geneva North. So there you have it po. Keep on commenting because we will get back to you. So now, Ate, let's continue our conversation. So what habits around work, because you work now, obviously, did you have to unlearn for you to be productive or like work your best?
I had to unlearn to make unrealistic goals for myself. Like I said, kanina, putting in a lot of tasks in one day. There are only 8 hours when you're working, depending how long you work. But for example, like for me, it's 8 hours a day, and even with that, it feels like, oh, there's so much time. But once you start working on one project, sometimes you don't get through other projects, and time management was a really how do I say that, was really a challenge.
Yeah.
Even more because we have time management when it comes to doing our projects from school, or I don't know. So that was very different. I think I had to unlearn that not everything that I put on my agenda or notebook is like will realistically be done. How about you, Ate? I think you're 50-50 working. What habits did you have to unlearn?
Actually, I would say the same. Because for some reason, I put so much on my to-do list, and then when I don't get it done, I start crying. No, but I get disappointed myself, and I'm like, did I work hard enough? And you start to overthink, and I think that's not productive. Overthinking, because you can spend your time in a much more productive way instead of bringing yourself down talaga. So I needed to learn to be realistic with myself, and to look myself in the mirror and be like, will you be able to get that done? And it's okay if you don't. I think that was also a difficult one.
Mhm.
Telling yourself it's fine.
Yeah.
Because many of us are so hard on ourselves, and that's also the reason why we set unrealistic goals
Yes.
for ourselves. So I also think what I have had to unlearn, or I'm continuing to learn, is still working on myself for here, is to be kind to myself and realistic. Those two things. So definitely that. And I definitely agree with what you said as well, Ate. Like we really have to be honest with ourselves, and it makes it even harder because you're stressing about getting things done anyway. So being realistic and honest with yourself, it helps you to be productive, and it's also part of hard work. So actually, speaking about boundaries and being kind to yourself, how do boundaries improve the quality of work? Because you said, Ate, before it was more on quantity when you were younger, no?
Yes, it
Yes.
was. How to improve the quality of my work?
Yeah.
That's what I said, like I know earlier. I think I tackled it a bit na yung giving boundaries when you feel like you're tired, physically, mentally tired, and cannot work efficiently, and resting. So that's like the boundary, like putting a rest for your brain. For example, I need to get it done. But if you see that your quality of work is not good anymore, or that parang pinipilit mo na lang ang sarili mo matapos ang, yung work na yon, I think that's when you need to really put your boundaries for yourself, because you don't want it to affect the result. So what are you gonna do? You have to rest. It's okay, because sometimes you can be very mentally tired, not necessarily burnt out, but you're just mentally tired from everything that you've been doing during the day, that you're not working efficiently anymore. And once you see that decline in your quality of work, then it should be signs for you to put boundaries, talaga. What about you, ate?
I think it's also like part of like my personality, like pleaser talaga. So it's also yung boundary of saying no when you already have a lot of things to do, um, and people give you like more work. I I have to learn talaga to say no, and I say have because currently working on that, ate. That's why I wanted to ask you, do you have like any tips for that? Because you've been working already like longer. So did you like learn something about that? Like how do you handle that, ate?
Handle what?
Yung ano, saying like being able to say no, or like
Ah,
say na okay, I can do that but like later, or ganon.
I have to, parang, how do you say, give myself grace, in a sense na, um, no, like, right now, I cannot focus. I'm not progressing in my work. So I have to do something else. I have to shift my mind or my focus on something else, so that I can come back and do and do better. If once my Because you need to reset sometimes your brain talaga when
Yeah.
at work. For example, for me, I sit on my desk 8 hours in a day, because that's pretty much all I do. And and sometimes you need to get up and be like, okay, wait, just give me 30 minutes break. Let me do something else, or let me, like, have lunch, or have a break, and then I'll come back to it. I think you have to really know yourself.
Yeah.
And if you know yourself very well, and you're confident in yourself, then you have to, like, step back. I think that's you have to really know and be confident with yourself. I think that's, for me, how I learned how to do that.
That's actually interesting, ate. It made me realize na um like yun nga, the people pleasing part in me like makes it difficult to say no to whenever people like
Oh,
more work. But I have to know myself and tell myself like I am working hard right now, and it's just impossible right now for me to even take that on me. So I think if you're not sure about yourself, you can't convince others. So
yes,
that's what
agree.
I know, like reflected upon why while you were saying that. So you'll have to know yourself and be able to tell yourself, I am working hard right now, and I can't take that on me, maybe later, but for now it's a no. And that's also how you will be able to effectively tell others that, if you yourself know that. So yeah. Yun ate ang nakuha ko.
No, that's a really good reflection, and I think a lot of our audience will also relate to that, because hard work these days, productivity these days, is a big, like, topic among the youth as well. And so, just being confident in yourself, and most of all, placing your trust in God, will
Mm-hmm.
really boost up your self-esteem. Will That's how you will know yourself, because you entrust everything to Him. And like I said, don't overthink all the time. Having that boundary is okay. And you will do you will it will show how much you've worked hard and efficiently and smarter. Kasi nag-ano na tayo, nag-shift na tayo ng konti dun sa working hard to efficiently to smarter, 'di ba? So I think these days, that's what's more what the youth is. It's
Yeah.
instead of working hard, it's really efficiently because we don't have a lot of time in our hands, realistically. Okay,
Yeah.
so before I know we are almost out of time, but there is one last thing that we do want to do is listen to our inbox stories, which we have a letter here from a viewer. So she is from Paris, France, and we will reveal her name later on. But this is what she wrote to INC Radio. Dear INC Radio, Western Europe Routes and Roots, I'm writing in response to today's topic, and it made me reflect on how I see hard work now. Before, I used to think hard work meant sacrificing sleep and personal time to meet every deadline, no matter the cost. That is actually the case on my previous company, which I worked for or which I worked with for almost 15 years. Patayan talaga sa overtime and pasok pa din even on weekends just to meet the project deadlines. But of course, di pa rin napapabayaan ang duties ko sa church despite my busy schedule. That is always a priority. But there are times din na I can feel the exhaustion, yung ramdam mo yung pagod sa work while performing my duty as choir member. Over time, that perspective changed because I experienced burnout after years in a high-pressure job, which forced me to reassess my priorities. Today, hard work looks different to me, especially now that I'm working in a French company na mas relax ang working environment. It feels more like consistent, mindful effort aligned with my values than simply doing more or pushing longer. What I've learned along the way is that the true productivity comes from setting boundaries and incorporating rests. This lesson has helped me approach my responsibilities in work and sa church with proper balance. If I could sum up what hard work means to me now, I would say it's about working smarter, not harder, to achieve sustainable success. Sabi nga, there are many ways on how to complete a job. With better planning and creative mind, you'll find a way on how you can do it the most efficient way. In turn, if we can reduce yung time sa work, then we can spend more time sa mga bagay na mas mahalaga, which is our duties sa church. Thank you for creating a space where these reflections can be shared. Sincerely, Tess Castello. Ayan. That was one of our sisters in Paris, France, who shared her thoughts on our topic. And I think ate, everything that we said earlier, she wrote it. Dapat talaga kanina pa natin. Inuna natin yung letter niya because everything that we talked about earlier is what she said in the letter talaga. So, working hard doesn't mean, you had better results. And sometimes, not sometimes, you always have to keep the boundaries and incorporating rest to be more efficient. And like she said, it is about working smarter. And planning and creativity is very important so that you can get the result that you ano. Do you have any comments, ate, on the letter? I think you really liked it because your reaction was really like
No, because it's indeed what we have discussed, and for her to share her experience and really yun nga, she could relate to what we were talking about. It just shows that it's not only us, hindi lang tayo ate that's experienced that or that
yes.
think that way. So I think that's why I was nodding, because I was like, okay, like our sister, like she had a hard time and then she had to refocus and reset. So that just shows how important rest is and setting boundaries.
Yeah, definitely. And like for her, she prioritized also her church duties, which made it so much easier for her to reassess what she needed to do. So, I think for us, especially because we're church officers as well, and a lot of our audience are, this will be very relatable to them, or this is relatable to them because, outside we also have other responsibilities. We work, we study, which is also good. But I think knowing your priorities help talaga with being more efficient, working efficiently and, tinuturo naman sa atin yun as long as we prioritize God, everything
Yeah.
it will come, and he will determine when he will bless you naman talaga sa work mo and ano. And I think for her, having a relaxed working environment was really one of the blessings, kasi
Yeah.
she was able to also put her other time doon sa mga mas importante sa kanya, which is church duties and maybe even her family, diba? So I think a lot of us can relate to that. And I really, really enjoyed that, reading that letter, kasi she perfectly put it in writing talaga. So
Mhm.
thank you so much po, Tess Castello. Shout out po sa inyo. Thank you so much for writing that to us. And hopefully everyone else was able to get some takeaways and tips and learn something new in our episode for today. But unfortunately, Ate,
Unfortunately, we are again at the end of our broadcast na po, and again we had so much fun. We love hosting po, and we love yun nga, reading the letters and knowing about your point of view po on our topic for today. So please anticipate our next episode po next Sunday. But like we said, we're at the end. So of course, there some po that we would like to give special thanks to po. First and foremost, Brother Eduardo V. Manalo, our Executive Minister, Brother Angelo V. Manalo, our Deputy Executive Minister, Brother Ralph Esquera, our CFO Coordinator, Brother Marvin Adriano, our District Minister, Brother Zefli Morano, our Assistant District Minister, Brother Daniel Pinok, our District LOS Overseer, Brother Gerald Barceval, our District Christian Family Organization Overseer, and Brother Christian Andrew Viloria, our District Multimedia Advisor, and of course po, all ministers and ministerial workers guiding and helping us out here sa INC Radio, and also Brother Rich Rosario po, our executive producer, and obviously our beloved Kuya Tech in the Philippines for always helping us out each and every broadcast. So I would like to give my personal greetings po to our resident minister, Ka Gerald Barcebal, and as well to his family. All of you po who watched and tuned in, thank you so much po for spending your Sunday once again with us, and as well to all the brethren in Antwerp, in Western Europe na lang po, and of course my loved ones and family.
yes, to my personal greetings goes out, of course, to our resident minister, to my family, to Mama Papa, to my brother, to Louie, to the Woodside family in Cincinnati, Ohio, to Brother Matt. Of course, I want to shout out Brother Irenio, our Kuya Tech. I actually saw him in the Philippines when I was there. So shout out po sa inyo. Thank you so much for saying hi. Ayan, finally, I put a face on them. So ayan, I was very excited. Shout out po to everyone who helped us for this episode. Of course, to our audience, our live chat, thank you so much for always staying tuned and for always supporting INC Radio Western Europe Routes and Roots. Ayan. So, shout out na lang po to everyone sa live comments natin. Ang dami niyo po. Thank you so much. Just know that we see and read all of them. Maybe just not out loud, but we see them po, mga kapatid. So, thank you so much. You are very much appreciated. And like we always say at April, up next, INC Radio, United Kingdom. See you next Sunday on INC Radio Western Europe Routes and Roots, where journeys unfold, history is told.
Yes,
Goodbye
thank you
po.
so much po. Bye-bye po.
Nakikinig kayo sa Iglesia ni Cristo Radio, DCEM 954, ang tinig ng